I take a focus on building both coding skills and confidence. Confidence is very important in what we're doing. And so to do this, we create safe spaces for experimentation and growth. The best teachers don't just transmit information, they transform potential into capability. And so it's kind of silly, right? Everyone knows you should be kind, but here's why it matters. And so when it comes to pressure and problem solving, coding naturally creates pressure. It's very hard. Has anyone here ever coded before? Go ahead and emote in the chat if you have. Can't really see your hands, but put your hand up if you tried it. Put your hand up if you've ever tried it and became frustrated. Complex problems demand focused solutions and persistence through the frustration. I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to debug something late at night just to wake up later and realize I was missing semicolon. And so mistakes equal learning. To error is to human, right? And so errors are essential stepping stones to mastery, not failures to be ashamed of. The next thing we have here is fear reduction. Kindness creates psychological safety, allowing students to take risks and explore solutions more freely. I think that the more kind you are, it just pretty much just makes it easier to talk with you. Everyone knows you're smart if you're a programmer, but you want to be approachable. And so, creativity catalyst. Uh, this encouragement unlocks creative approaches to coding challenges that criticism would stifle. So, let's be nice. And so, here are some of the practical strategies that I employ during coding instruction, which is to listen first, meet learners where they are, right? Understand their unique challenges. I teach children from ages 8 to 18. And so we're working with people in a lot of different areas of their development. Chunk problems. And so when I say chunk problems, I mean, okay, we can look at this at like a bird's eye view and see everything, but sometimes it's better just to look at things one small piece at a time. Always celebrate the small wins. And so, for those of you that have coded before, right? I'm sure we all remember Hello World. That is a very small thing, but at one point, Hello World was my whole world, right? And the next point I have here is to connect personally. Find what motivates each student and leverage it. We model vulnerability, demonstrate your own figure out mindset when facing challenges. And so, we all make mistakes coding. What not a better way than to share your mistake and think of the different perspectives that are involved in helping you find your solution. And so we have the feedback framework here. And so always start with encouragement. Begin feedback by highlighting what's working, what's good, right? Don't always jump to the negative. Keep it positive, keep it friendly, keep it fun, right? Provide clear, actionable guidance. Give specific suggestions that can be immediately implemented. And so we all know that the terminal is going to spit out all types of crazy stuff. Sometimes that new error really is progress. And so even though there's an error there, we should be happy about it, right? Express belief and ability. End with conf- End with confidence in their capacity to improve and succeed. I tell all of my students that they're rock stars. And so choose empathy over criticism. Focus on growth potential rather than mistakes. And so it took me a very long time to be a good coding instructor. I've seen it all, right? I've seen students come to me with ChatGPT homework, and we're learning Python, and that's fine. I kind of teach you how to spaghetti code, top to bottom, instructional code. But when you come here with object-oriented programming, and we're just doing simple input functions, it kind of hints to something else. So always be available to, you know, letting people in what you know and it's more exciting, right? And so, see a question here. It says, "What are your favorite virtual classroom tools for young coders?" I would say the businesses that I've taught for definitely used Zoom because when you use Zoom as an educator, I think it might be free. So check that out. And so the hacker's secret sauce. And so everything I've just said summarized in just a few lines on one slide. And so coding is chaos, creativity. Hopefully you guys agree. Learners need to sandbox, fail safely. All right. And so an instructor like myself, right? I see myself as a firewall, but not a gatekeeper. I'm always here for you guys. Kindness equals feature, not a bug. And one of my favorite things to say is when we are doing code reviews, and someone's like, "Hey, what's going on? No, there's a bug there." It's like, no, that's not a bug. That's a feature. Positivity, man. Insert the positivity. And so empathy is a debugger for the human brain. My dojo runs on one thing. That's trust. No trust, no shell. And one thing I didn't put on here that I think is equally as important is sometimes sleep is the best debugger. You can spin your wheels for hours and hours and hours, but sometimes after a good night's rest, you can solve that problem in 5 minutes.